Welcome back to Occupy Democrats. And it is a global Tuesday with regards to Trump speaking at the UN and doing his typical 3T standard teleprompt speech that involves tough talk and being a tyrant. Yep, that's Donnie again, because we know from things like recent hits on boats.
President Trump released this video of what is apparently a second strike against a Venezuelan boat that he says was carrying drugs to the U.S. This attack just 2 weeks after the military struck another boat from Venezuela in the Caribbean. Charlie, this is a highly unusual move for a president to make. How exactly did we get here?
I'll try to be brief, Errol. Okay, so let's take it back. First of all, drug interdiction has been going on for decades, as you and I both know. What's happened recently, maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, is the president ordered around 8 battleships to that area, including 3 destroyers, Iwo Jima, which is an amphibious ship with 2,500 Marines on there, and this is the second strike.
That in this breaking story, Trump really likes to do this, but he's doing it in front of the UN and the world, embarrassing all of us, where people like China are sitting, because he doesn't care about evidence, does he?
We went to the Pentagon yesterday. They said, what's going on here? This is the second time there's been a strike on a drug boat, a suspected drug boat, without really showing any evidence. And, who's responsible? We went to the Navy and said it's not us. Now, we're assuming, and it's been reported elsewhere, that these are sort of Reaper drones. This is the first time we've seen this kind of interdiction, rather than traditionally getting onto a boat, finding out what's on there, finding out who's on there, and gathering evidence. And that's a question that Nancy Cordes put to the president yesterday.
Do you plan to provide proof that these were narco-terrorists who were on their way to the U.S.?
Well, we have proof. All you have to do is look at the cargo that was, it's spattered all over the ocean. Big bags of cocaine and fentanyl all over the place.
President Trump says the evidence is in the water, as you just laid out. Typically, the evidence is identified ahead of time.
And of course, to further his taco Trumpness of toughness and tyranny, he so desperately, while bombing boats in the ocean with no evidence, wants to constantly be congratulated and given the ultimate prize for how fabulous he is.
President Trump is a humanitarian with a big heart. The president has now ended conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia, Israel and Iran, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, India and Pakistan, Serbia and Kosovo, and Egypt and Ethiopia. This means President Trump has brokered, on average, about 1 peace deal or ceasefire per month during his 6 months in office. It's well past time that President Trump was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
Donald Trump really wants the Nobel Peace Prize, and my worry is, if they don't give it to him, he's going to bomb Norway.
So in this breaking story, you have commentary coming from world leaders everywhere at the absurdity of the laughingstock and the madman that Donald Trump has become, and that's exactly how they see him in this breaking story. Listen to Donald Trump, President of the United States, this.
Likewise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit, everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. Our message is very simple. If you come illegally into the United States, you're going to jail, or you're going back to where you came from, or perhaps even further than that. You know what that means. I want to thank the country of El Salvador for the successful and professional job they've done in receiving and jailing so many criminals that entered our country. We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. And I have to say, I look at London where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor, and it's been so changed. So changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. You have to end it now. Sid, I can tell you. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
Yeah, you heard him. He literally said your countries are going to hell. First of all, that's a subjective statement. Secondly, he seems to leave out the concept of exactly why so many immigrants have rushed out of the Middle East while he talks about all of his unendable wars, and yet amazingly, the 1 and 2 wars that he hasn't resolved are between Israel and the Palestinians and, of course, Ukraine and his buddy Putin. Those two. He talks about all the peripheral stuff that you can argue whether he did or didn't have an effect on, but all this man does is be self-congratulatory, give me the trophies, give me the gold, whether I deserve it or not, because in my mind, I do. We have to understand the level of cognitive dissonance that this president functions under, and inside of these borders, folks, with regards to what just occurred recently with Jimmy Kimmel, and it will continue, Stephen Colbert, and in light of the tragedies of both Melissa Hortman and Charlie Kirk, if we think this is going to get better anytime soon, this is not something that I believe, and it's why I continually say to you guys, stay frosty.